I want to get to the 60. They're projecting 65 wins. I don't understand that, because to me they won 66 games last year in a season where literally everything went wrong. All their key players got hurt. Like, their young players didn't develop the way they thought. Like, to me, their absolute worst case scenario was last year at 66 wins. Like, how do we go from 66 wins to 65 wins when players have gotten healthy? We've seen so many changes to the staff. We have a whole new front office. The moves that were made in the offseason, I think, add depth to this team. Like, 65 wins to me is just, I think it's a bit disrespectful, honestly, because 66 wins to me was the worst case scenario last year. I don't necessarily see that happening again.
What they would tell you is it's really not a disrespect so much as the numbers that's in their formula. That's what it spits out, right? So what I know of Pacoda is, for instance, Spencer Torkelson had a bad year. And that's all the data in MLB they have to base it on. So they compare what he's done in the minors plus that one season, find comparables to him in the past, and project what those players did moving forward, and kind of attach a lot of that to Torkelson. And, with what he did last year, it's not going to look very pretty this season. He's going to have to change that trajectory. And the Tigers have a lot of guys like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's certain things, the Tigers lost. They had Skubal for about half the year, a little bit more than half the year last year. We don't know how much they're going to have him this year. They lost 4 key members of the bullpen, Fulmer, Chafin, Jimenez, and Soto. So sometimes that, I don't know if it matters that much in a Pacoda projection, but in real life, that could have some effect on your win total. But yeah, I think, it's just a result of a lot of, like you said, a lot of comparisons not looking terribly favorable based on last year, which was, as you said, a terrible year for just about everybody. So they're kind of saying, well, this is what we expect again. And we're all kind of expecting at least a handful of these guys to improve, hopefully somewhat dramatically. In some cases, actually just be on the field would be nice.
Right.
But
well, like for Meadows, for instance, it's not surprising they have Meadows at a 110, because even though he gave the Tigers nothing last year for various reasons, he has that work in Tampa to lean back on, where they can project, give him a pretty good projection. So it's also didn't shock me what you just said about Candelario either. For as bad as he was last year, he was, a very, very acceptable baseball player the year before, actually the 2 seasons before. So you can see where that projection makes some sense. They're seeing how he could come back and be a productive player.
Michael brings up a good point. They had the Orioles at 61 wins, but Tigers are at 67. So it could be. Look, the bottom line is this for me, as far as Pagoda projections go. I think there's a little bit of it that is going to be accurate. I think a little bit it's going to be off by it, especially in the bullpen, because I think the Tigers are, again, you still have to figure out whether or not who's going to be their lefty outside of Tyler Alexander. There's a lot of the bullpen is just such a mystery, but I still think it's going to be a source of strength based off what Chris Fetter's done after the White Sox 95 wins. That was, yeah. So again, it goes to what exactly Yooper's point is, which is take it with a grain of salt.